I told you guys that Morara Kebaso was a government project. And you people, most of you did not agree with me. So tell me why the guy has all of a sudden just decided that he's no longer going to take part in politics, that he wants to live his personal life, and he no longer wants to do anything with politics. Tell me why. For a guy who launched a political party, for a guy who went around showing failed government projects, just wakes up one morning and says that he's done with politics. He doesn't want anything to do with politics. He wants to live his life. Unaelewa? He wants to eat. He wants to be free. He don't want to be called for interviews on TV and all those other things. That he has decided that he no longer wants to do anything with politics. Why would someone who had invested so much in politics to a point whereby he was even arrested and arraigned in court of allegations that he said that were fabricated, just wakes up in the morning and decides that he no longer wants anything to do with politics? When I say that Morara was a government project, Morara was a project, most of you fail to agree with me. Now I want to show you, I want to give reasons why I feel that this guy was just a government project, and I also want to give the reason why I feel like he has decided to step out of politics. So before I go into the details, if you're coming here for the first time, kindly subscribe and hit the notification bell so that anytime I post a video, you will always be the first to watch. So kindly do so, na kama kawaida, I'll be back. So, thank you for everyone who has subscribed, and for the return subscribers, I really appreciate you guys. You are making this platform grow, and because of that, I thank you, my people. If you want to support this platform, my number is always here. You can support it with any amount that you feel like. 10 bob, 20 bob, 30 bob, we will appreciate. 100, 1,000, even a million. Who doesn't want to be supported? We all want to be supported at some point. So thank you. So back to my video. I told you guys that Morara was a project, and there were indications that showed that Morara was a project. One of the indications was that this guy, number one, he came from nowhere. But this guy, don't forget, this is a person who has been in ODM. He was in ODM. He started his politics somewhere in ODM. And then he later moved from ODM to UDA. There are some images of him being in ODM, and there are some photos of him being in UDA and even being with William Ruto. And he kept on denying, he kept on saying that there is nothing wrong with that, because at some point he wanted to go and listen to what these people are saying. That was not the thing. This guy has been in this political circle with these political leaders all along. He has been playing in the corridors of these politicians all along. So tell me why from nowhere the guy just came out and started now exposing government projects. He started exposing government projects, and mark you, as at that point, there was nothing that was being done to him. Until when he reached a point when he was doing too much of it, and then the government came in and stepped in and started coming up with allegations, and then he was arrested. And then from there, he just came out and started, now we are launching a party, now we are doing this, now we are doing this, we are launching a political party, NATO inject, and so many things. So, these things were done deliberately. For me, from the way I see all these things, Morara was in the political circle. He was there hoping that he will get something out of UDA and all the support that he gave UDA, because he's one of the people who voted for UDA. He was one of the campaigners for UDA. And then when maybe he felt like he was not being considered for anything, he was not being given anything, he went for attention. He wanted to do something that will get government attention. He wanted to do something that will show the government that, hey, this guy is going so hard. Let us try and tame him, or let us try and do something for him so that Aratulia. And the only way he would have done that, it was through exposing government projects. But in the process, he won the heart of Kenyans. And Kenyans felt like he was doing the right thing. And they started even contributing to him and giving him money and all those other things. And I feel that from that he got an impotence to feel like, now if Kenyans are supporting me, and maybe this thing I just did it so that I can put the government in, so that the government could at least consider me for something, then I would rather go with this. And then that's how he went ahead, because he was now carried with the euphoria and the wave, and now he felt like if Kenyans are on his side, let him now launch a party. But along the way, the government has found a way of bringing him back. Because you can see clearly, there was a time Morara wanted to organize a rally in Uhuru Park, and it failed. No one turned up. And then later, when they came into coalition, into agreement with Kasmuel Makore, they went and held a rally, and what walija and people were there, and it was successful, and the rally was not interrupted in any way. So tell me, where does this person have the money? Because for you to hold such a man, you need money and resources. Where did he get the resources to do all this? Another thing, I want you to look keenly. In all the demonstrations, even the demonstration on the finance bill, Morara was nowhere to be seen. He was nowhere to be seen. Kasmuel was there, because that campaign of the finance bill is what built Kasmuel into who he is. So at least we all know where Kasmuel came from. But for Morara was nowhere to be seen. He never appeared anywhere, but he just came after the finance bill, after the demonstration. That is when he started now popularizing himself and marketing himself and coming up so strong. So this guy was just on the periphery. This guy was just looking at what Kenyans were doing, and he saw a gap and he wanted to take advantage of it. But I think along the way, Kenyans walichanuka. Kenyans started realizing that this guy is a government project. This guy is not who we think he is. This guy is not the person that we want. He's not the person who can take us to where we are. And that's when now things of his past started resurfacing. The moment he started even associating with people like Akina Gachagua and everything, he started going to attending their things and everything. That is when Kenyans started taking note of him. And with that, he started now realizing that Kenyans now are calling him a government project, and he has tried to shed that thing off, but it has failed. It has failed so much, to a point whereby I think those are some of the reasons that has now pushed him to decide, okay, I'm done with politics. Because if I cannot get a support, if I cannot get the youths on my side, then why am I doing this politics after all? You get? So he has decided that now, since the young people are no longer with him, the people that he thought that were with him and were backing him, since these people have abandoned him, then he sees no need of hiding again. He'd rather go silent, aende chini ya maji, and then later he will surface. Because remember, this is the same person who was now telling us that tunataka tutoe Ruto tuweke nani. That kama tunatoa Ruto tuweke mtu mwingine kama Ruto, we'd rather remain with Ruto. For somebody who understands clearly that Kenyans are tired with this regime, Kenyans are tired with the president, will you still come and tell the same Kenyans that mnataka kutoa president mweke nani? Kama hakuna mtu mwingine, kama mnatoa mtu mwingine, kama mjuu mtu mnaweka, na kama mtu mnajua mjui kama atakuwa wasi, afadhali mubaki na huyu. That was when Kenyans took, hapo ndio time Kenyans walifunguka macho wakarealize this guy is working for someone, not for Kenya. This is someone who is behind someone, because he was just trying to change the narrative. The narrative of the one term, the narrative of that has been there. He was fighting so hard to change that narrative, and he was changing that narrative through trying to make Kenyans feel like that we don't have an alternative besides William Ruto. He was the one telling us that opposition is much worse than William Ruto, that the guys in opposition are much worse than William Ruto, which he doesn't understand that at this point Kenyans just don't care. Kenyans just want that they'd rather replace one devil with another one, but at least they get a lesser devil than the other one. Like, that is what usually happens. So the Kenyans have reached a point whereby they don't want this government anymore. They'd rather have another government and see how things goes. But the current government has failed Kenyans too much. So that was the thing. But Morara doesn't understand. He kept on telling us, and that is why people walifunga macho. Another reason why I feel like Morara was and is a government project is no other than this demonstration that happened recently. Have you seen Morara speak anywhere about what happened to Albert Ojwang? Have you seen anywhere Morara come out to speak about the demonstration? Have you come out, Morara, to come out to even join the demonstrators in the street? He has done none of that. He has gone silent. In fact, he has kept on showing us how expensive his watches are, how his t-shirts are, how he's living a good life. He has went ahead and started marketing his chairs and his sofa sets and everything. He has not come out to tell Kenyans to speak anything about Albert. Yeye kama the person who was branding himself as the leader of the youth, or the president of the young people, of the Gen Zs and everything, we ought to have seen him come out. We ought to have seen him in the street. We ought to have seen him call out the government. We ought to have seen him fight for the government. We ought to have seen him stand out and say no, these things. But he was a no-show. Even Kasmuel, of all the people, despite being a traitor to many Kenyans, besides being seen as a traitor, he turned out. He came out and condemned the government. He came out and spoke about this government. He came out and said that this is wrong. But as for Morara, he went silent. Until now he emerges with another issue of saying that now he's leaving politics. So you Kenyans, I think the most important thing is that we should not be excited by anybody coming out to say that he's now interested, Nina Nini is our leader, Nina Nini. Let us not be excited. Let us cross-examine these people. Let us look deep into their past. Let us dig deep into their history. Let us see, did they ever associate with this oppressive or any other oppressive regime previously? Did they ever work hand in hand with this previous regime? That is the only way we will be able to know someone who is genuine from someone who is fake. That is the only way we'll be able to differentiate someone who is really genuine for us or not. You have seen what Kasmuel has done to us. He has literally betrayed us. This is a man that people had high hopes on him. This is a man that Kenyans looked and said that, wow, there is a leader here. This is like a version of the Tom Mboya, re-emergence of Tom Mboya. But what did Kasmuel do? Kasmuel decided to go and dine with the oppressors. He has decided to go and eat in the same table of the same people that are oppressing us. And that is the reason why people abandon Kasmuel. So that no matter what he says right now, no matter what he does right now, Kenyans don't see him like that anymore. The interest has reduced. The political clout he was getting has now dwindled, and now he just remains like a figure there. No one follows him, no one listens to him. So those are the prices that you pay when you go against the people. Those are the prices that you pay when you go against the will of the people. If you want to build a political career, if you want to be a politician, to those people who want to be a politician, if you want to be a politician, always ensure you are on the side of the people. No matter what happens, always ensure you are on the side of the people, because you have seen even what has happened to Raila Odinga. This was a man who was on the side of the people for the longest time, but the moment he had decided to abandon the people, even his political legacy, the things he has worked in the past, now everyone is trashing that. Now everyone is calling him names. Now everyone no longer consider him as any. That is the price you pay when you betray the people. If you want to have a political future, and if you want to grow, and if you want to be respected in the political space, always stand on the side of the people. There is no way, two ways about it. Anyway guys, thank you. Until next time, see you.